Hey Facebook land, just rocking out another New Year's bit of content, you could call it. It's been interesting witnessing everyone as they show up online ready for a New Year's, new you and all that, especially in the coaching space. I love that people are there to serve and they've got new offers and they've got offers to make the most of this powerful, energetic time. It is a powerful, energetic time. There are people setting intentions, big intentions, resolutions, letting go and all the things that are very, very important. Again, setting big intentions for this year. I hope you're all wishing, or I don't believe in wishing, I'm wishing you well, intending to play a bigger game this year. And if 2022 didn't give you the results you desired, there is only one person responsible for your results, and that is you. I think it's one of the biggest things that I think holds people back is the willingness or the courage to take responsibility for the results that have manifest in their life. Where in fact, if you really look at it, you are the only one who can be responsible for all the results in your life, be they really, really crappy or really, really fucking awesome. So with that going forward, I really, truly believe for anyone to make progress in life, it doesn't matter where we're at, the first step is always taking responsibility for where you're at, for everything in your reality. Or if you're busting loose from the money game and great audio or great book, you're taking responsibility for everything in your hologram. And when we can really ground into that, I truly believe it's the thing that sets us apart. It's the thing that sets us up for the results we get. For if you do not take responsibility for everything in your life, how can you fully live to your full potential? How can you fully achieve, accomplish, be what you set out to be? Even though I really believe that the work is feeling whole within ourselves. But if you look at it from an outcome focus, taking radical responsibility is one of the hardest things for people to do. Be it a relationship that isn't going that good and you have attachment to leave because of the money, because of the fear, the unknown, because of the kids, because of whatever the attachment is, but you know deep within your heart it doesn't serve you. Taking responsibility for the fact that you are the one keeping yourself in that is a tough pill to swallow. But it needs to happen for you to move forward. If last year didn't go to plan financially for you, you could blame the crypto markets, you could blame the banking sector, you could blame your investments, you can blame your boss not giving you a raise, you can blame that. You are 100% responsible for where you put your time, energy, and focus with that. 100% responsible. Again, this is coming from the perspective that in order to move forward in life, you have to be responsible for where you're at now. Now, I can guarantee if you look at your life now and you have great results and you have some things that are fantastic, you will claim that like anything. You'll be like, yeah, I did that. I did that. And it's important to do that. It's not all about doom and gloom, radical responsibility. Celebrate the fuck out of yourself and your accomplishments and your achievements and what joy you have in your life or what abundance, whatever. But at the same time, I can guarantee you right now there are things in your life that you are not happy with, or they could be better. They could be greater. They could be more expansive. They could be more fulfilling. Have a look at them parts of your life and what in them parts of your life shouldn't be there anymore, or is holding you back, or is an attachment to something from your past. Maybe it's something unconscious, which is most people, by the way. We're aware of certain shit, but sometimes we're doing our best. But if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. Even if you try from a different angle, even if you put a different fucking face mask on or a different jacket, you're still going to manifest similar results. Again, if there's stuff in your life right now and you know something's got to go, it's got to go. If it stays there, you are responsible for keeping it there. Not the markets, not that opportunity that went down, not your fucking husband or dodgy wife or whatever it is, not your boss, not your fucking workmates, you. And a lot of us don't like it when that finger is pointed back at us, when we know deep down it is our responsibility. But I get it. I get that it can be hard to take responsibility because sometimes we don't know what part we are going to take responsibility for. If you're in a relationship and you know you got to go, but there's a huge part of you where you love that relationship and there's things that served, but you've kept yourself in there because you've just hold a shining light that's going to work, but you haven't changed the way you show up. You haven't changed the way you've tried to lead it. You are responsible for that. Now, some things may not be your fault, but you manifest that relationship at some point in time. You had a choice, you had a decision, you had multiple choices and decisions that you were responsible for, the good ones and the shit ones. You need to look at this and take responsibility for that. Now, I'm coming from a place of setting yourself up to go forward. We also need to have compassion for ourselves if things didn't quite turn out the way they did. If we're going to take radical responsibility, it's okay being a hard ass with ourselves, but if we are not compassionate, we will also stay stuck. If we do not show compassion to ourselves, the situations we have found ourselves in, I truly believe the situations presented to us in life that we are presented with, they are there to challenge us, test us, help us learn lessons, help us apply lessons, help us grow. When we grow, when we expand, when we come into alignment more, that's when we're presented with more situations, opportunity, interactions that are more aligned, that can bring us more joy, that can have us feel more whole. And I can guarantee you we will take radical responsibility for that. If you've ever been through a challenging time in life and you've got through, you should be patting yourself on the back. A lot of us don't. A lot of high achievers don't. It's just like, what's next? And we forget to show ourselves love, show ourselves kindness. It's okay to receive appreciation and acknowledgement and recognition from outside, but it's truly when we show it to ourselves that we can truly move on and appreciate ourselves. So again, it's not just about being a hard ass, about taking responsibility. But in order to move forward, if you celebrate the New Year's, if you tune into the numbers like some people close to me are, and they really go hard at this time of the year, with all power to you, and you want to make 2023 the best year of your life, or the biggest year, or the most successful year, the most abundant year, the most fucking biggest financial year, the helping the most people, whatever it is, if you are not willing to take responsibility for everything in your reality right now, you will not accomplish, achieve, reach whatever the successes or whatever you're looking for this year. You will not. If you're just changing some of your behaviors right now, this is a cool one. I love this for the coaching space because when I come in, reframing and changing behaviors was all I learned at the start before getting into a lot of the unconscious work, a lot of the body work and everything. But that's where the real change happens. Changing your behaviors at this time of the year is great. Take responsibility. I know going to the fridge at 10 o'clock at night to eat that shit is no good for me. That behavior's got to go. But if you don't sit down and have some goals of what that is, some drivers, if you don't have a strategy to stick to or a plan, if you don't at least look for some sort of guidance from outside of yourself, it could be a YouTube video, guys, if it's something around nutrition or fitness. There's an abundance of resources out there. Don't ever think that I'm only coming from a place of work with me, pay me my money for coaching. No, there is an abundance of resources in the world out there. What I'm spitting to you right now is not new information. It might sound different being channeled through me, but it's not new information. Again, there is an abundance of resources out there, but then are you actually utilizing the resources and applying yourself? A lot of the time when we just go and change a behavior, we might take responsibility for a habit we have, a behavior, and say, yep, that's not good enough. I am a bit overweight, an easy one to talk to. Not for me, it's not easy because I'm fit as fuck. Healthy as fuck. I value my health, I value my fitness, I value my body and the work I do with it. I'm very clear on my goals and my strategy and my plan and what I do with that. But I have behaviors that sneak in, but I don't just change the behavior. I'm like, where's this coming from? What's driving this? What's the emotion I'm feeling when I'm going to do this, even though I've caught this? Really cool strategy. I'm going to put this in a video on YouTube. Check out the Wild Man Revolution channel, by the way, on YouTube. I've been dropping in some little cool videos in between the podcast while we set up a new structure for this year, which is very exciting. But check that out. But there's something that I always ground into. It's a really cool strategy, you could call it. And write this down. You can look at the results in your life. You can use this two ways. Really where change happens is like our programming, our belief systems, our conditioning, what's stored in the body, these sorts of things, the identity level stuff, deeper stuff. Behaviors are on the surface. We can make change there, but they generally are not long lasting. Here's a cool strategy if you want to break it down. You got a behavior, grab that result. It's a result. Put that down there. Now you're going to be able to trace the steps back to how you got that result. You sort of want to know where the programming's come from. We can sort of do this ourselves, even though there's mechanisms of the unconscious that'll keep us deflecting from the root cause of this generally. But we can sort of trace this back. Well, the result is I'm fucking 10 kilos overweight, okay? What are the actions that have led me to that? What are the actions that have led? Oh, okay, cool. Every morning I get up and I have a Coke. Not a line of Coke, that would probably help with your weight loss. Not that I'm encouraging that, but I have a can of Coke. Or I have a full cream milk coffee with 4 sugars or 3 sugars, and I have a hamburger or a friggin' egg and bacon sandwich, whatever. There's an action. All right, what's another action? I sit in the car for 2 hours and I sit behind my office all day. They're the actions that lead to this. I get home and sit in front of the TV. There's the actions that have given me this result. I'm aware of that. No change is happening here. What am I feeling? This is where we start to get into the nitty gritty. When I look at these actions, what have I been feeling this time? A lot of the time people can be numb when we're talking about the food thing. A lot of the time we can be disconnected from the feeling. So this little exercise or this looking at this little strategy can help you go into it and go, oh yeah, I was feeling very, very depressed then. I was feeling a bit sad at lunch. I was feeling very empty. I was feeling shame or whatever it was. Do your best to tune into that. Write it down in a book. What was I feeling when I was sitting in front of the TV after work when I knew I should have been exercising? Or when I was drinking that Coke in the morning or putting the extra sugar in my cup? What was I feeling then? I was feeling over it. I was already overworked even. Whatever, just write down what you were feeling. If you can feel it, even better. It's part of the process. Everything we do in life is for a feeling. There's a good one to write down there too. What's before that? You got the results, the actions, and back to the feelings. What was the thought? What was going through your brain? Now, generally when you're sitting with the feelings, let's not give too much power to the mind here in a negative way, that it's the mind's fault. The mind wants to be responsible, the ego, for everything. What were you thinking? What were you thinking when you got up in the morning and you were thinking, what were you thinking? Oh, I'm going to work today. I'm fucking over it. I've got no energy already. I've had a kind of a night's sleep. Whatever you're thinking, just write it down. That's going to give you an indication of what your programming is. It's going to give you an indication of where this may be coming from. But when it comes to the unconscious work, guys, yes, you can journal all you like, but most of this shit's stored in our body. That's why I love the work I do with people. That's why I love the work I do with myself and my therapist and the people I work with. It's because we get to the nitty gritty of this shit, what's stored in the body, what's at the unconscious level, what are our belief systems, what needs re-fucking wiring, what needs reprogramming. PTFAR, programming, thoughts. It's a little bit surface level, but this is a cool little strategy. If you want a bit of self-help, this is what can be very beneficial. Because there's a lot more that goes to this awareness of behaviors that don't serve us than meets the eye. That's why most people, not just at this time of the year, fuck the New Year's resolution stuff. That's why most people do not accomplish greater things, or they set goals and they don't achieve them. It's because of their programming, their conditioning, their trauma. Very important. This has been a key shift in my work in the last couple of years. Is the trauma work is really, really important when it comes to all of this, because I've done all the work with the coaches, the mindset. It's important. It's a great tool. There are great tools. But true change has come in my life, long-lasting change, where I've been able to be in more flow when I've done the somatic work, when I've done the deeper work, when I've done the work that I do. Of course, I've needed to do that work to be able to do the work that I do. My beautiful queen does amazingly with women. I do the same with men, the ones that are courageous enough to even take this path. So guys, radical responsibility. Awareness is important. This is not a new thing that I've just taught you. It's one of the first things I learned coming into personal growth, was that little strategy thing. I didn't get it at the time. I didn't. I had to look at it and use it as a tool over and over and over and over and over again, like anything I use as a tool in my tool belt. It's one of the big things that I love teaching men and clients, and women too, is giving them tools in their tool belt to manage and navigate everyday life. That one I just taught you then is a really powerful mindset one. Really powerful, but it's not the be all and end all. It's not a fix. It's not like, all right, I'm aware of my bad behavior, I stop the behavior. Before you know, you filled the bad behavior with another fucking addiction or another bad behavior, because there's a trauma there. There's something ingrained in your nervous system, in your programming, that hasn't shifted. There's a need that needs to be met energetically, physically, emotionally, that you're going to fill that gap with something else. It happens all the time. It does. It happens in my life. That's why I'm continually in the work. The landscape of the planet is changing inside the planet. Concave Earth, just drop that in there. But the landscape of the world is constantly evolving and changing. For a lot of people, it's getting more chaotic. For a lot of people, it's getting harder to navigate day-to-day life. Still our responsibility. It's our responsibility where we're putting our time, energy, and focus going forward this year. So again, if there's one thing that I could share with all of you that's going to help you start this year on the right foot, it's sit down and look at your reality right now, your hologram, whatever you want to call it, and look at every aspect of it and say, I fucking did that. Since I did that, you can achieve, you can celebrate it, or you can go, okay, I'm actually, be honest with yourself, I'm not happy with that. That needs to be better. What the fuck are you going to do about it? Because that's where real responsibility comes in. Not just knowing that something's not working. Most people will brush over that right now, and they'll look to the easy one. They'll look to the surface level one. They won't look to the root cause. That's where the key to growth is, guys. That's where the key to moving forward. And really, the bigger game you want to play next year going forward, the bigger the intent, the grander the plan, I promise you, it's going to encourage you. It's going to push you to go deeper into this, and it's going to have you in a more uncomfortable place than you've ever been. But what's more uncomfortable? I'll leave you with this. What's more uncomfortable? Having shit that you are aware of in your life that isn't working, that isn't the best, that could be better, and you not doing anything about it, or getting out of your own fucking way, striving to be better, to do better, to accomplish greater, whatever it is for you, and being uncomfortable doing the work to make it happen. I know where I sit. Definitely playing a bigger game, as always. Much love to everyone. I just wanted to come in here and share. I've been sharing a bunch of shit behind the scenes on video, and it feels good to be here. Much love. And this applies to every fucking day and everything in our life, guys. Who gives a fuck what year it is? Numbers, play the numbers, guys, but every fucking day we need to take radical responsibility, and we need to do something about it. See you later.